And we're back. Welcome back to the encapsulated capsule, the digital pill.
The cockpit. It's good to be back.
The digital
Cockpit.
illuminescence.
So no.
We are,
Illuminated.
I was going to say trapped, but we're not. We're not really trapped. I don't want anybody to get concerned.
Well, this is a trap house.
Oh, it feels like it if you guys can only see in here.
You guys can only smell in here.
But anyways, we have a lot of things on the tab. Hope you guys are ready. Hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. It was a banger. It was a classic. But this week, we're going to be talking about surveillance clothing. We'll get more into that later. But the office of the Director of Intelligence, which operates iARPA, they have produced something that is going to be spreading all over this world shortly. And even Microsoft has gotten involved in it. So we're going to talk about that later. Your clothing is going to be the next thing. Watching you, listening, reporting on you.
Yeah. So don't turn that channel. In fact, don't even touch the dial. Keep your eyes locked.
But one thing you should touch is on the bottom left of the screen, there's a join button. Think about joining Toilet Timers today. Help supporting our channel monetarily.
It's all for the cause.
If you'd like to help us financially, hit that join button, join the Toilet Timers, and support us. Also, think about in the description of this video, clicking on the Discord link, going to the Discord, joining there, where you can find information on all the topics we talk about, where there's articles or dissertations that are regarding the things we're talking about, and much more. You can join the community and join the discussion with other people like-minded as yourself. Also, every Thursday, tune in for our lives. We will be talking about whatever. It's an open discussion, so tune on in and ask away if you'd like to talk to us in person.
We actually talk about everything you guys want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions you had, anything that left your head scratching or itching, everything and anything that your mind could come up with.
And lastly, if you are an audio podcast listener, you can find us on all the platforms: Spotify, Apple, iTunes Podcasts, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, whatever. You can find us there. So look up Toilet Time TV and you will find our audio podcast. And I guess the last thing is don't forget to like this video. Comment whatever you like.
We actually read all of your guys' comments, and we really love them.
Well, I saw somebody last time say anything, and they comment because I said say anything. So somebody said anything.
That's a good soldier.
Yes, I appreciate that. But yes, say anything.
We say jump, and they say why.
Type something. Comment. That helps us try to get out of this blacklisted algorithm on YouTube. So
Shout out to Raymond Reddington.
like this video, comment on this video, share this video. That helps us just as well. So we appreciate all our Patreons, appreciate all the members, we appreciate all the viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Now that we have that plug out of the way.
You scratch our face, we scratch yours.
So join with us now as we go down to the bottom of this rabbit hole. Here in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Toilet Time TV, your source for the truth.
Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka.
What's interesting, and I heard about this last year, but it's coming back again. So, I don't know if you've heard about this, colleague, but apparently, 9/23, September 23rd, it's supposed to be the end of the world. And every single, well, not every single, that's an exaggeration, that's hyperbolic. There's a lot of videos, movies, TV shows, cartoons that say 9/23 or 9/22 or 9/24 is the end of the world. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I have. Thank you for asking.
For years on September 23rd, conspiracies that the world is coming to an end have flooded the internet. These theories are sparked by the overwhelming appearance of the numbers 9, 2, and 3 appearing in numerous television shows and movies. I'm just going to go through this list. Third rock from the sun. There was a meteor that was scheduled to hit the planet in 2015. The Big Bang Theory, an asteroid strikes September 23rd. The volcano movie 239 in the license plate. Seeking a friend at the end of the world, an asteroid strikes on September 22nd, 23rd, and ends the world. The movie Deep Impact, starring Morgan Freeman. The asteroid would strike on 9/22. Evan Almighty, he said the date of the flood is September 22nd.
Until September 22nd, midday. And if the ark isn't finished by then, you will be.
Is that when it's going to happen? September 22nd, midday?
The movie Knowing, the date of September 22nd and 23rd, the Earth is destroyed by a solar flare. Little Shop of Horrors, you had this September 23rd event that humans will encounter a deadly threat. The movie Tomorrowland, disaster strikes on September 23rd. In NCIS, The Last Man Standing was the episode Do They Know 23? No. You know, that signal there. In Jim Carrey's movie 23, he mentions the date September 23rd as the day that hell arrives. In the TV show Sleepy Hollow, September 23rd, a new dimension is opened. Hello?
Maybe September 23rd.
September 23rd.
Evil is released on September 23rd in the movie Ghostbusters. This is the End with Seth Rogen. September 23rd is the date that the rapture happens. In the movie Pandemic, the East Coast is hit with this pandemic on September 23rd. In the movie Labyrinth, evil consumes the world on September 23rd.
In 9 hours and 23 minutes, you'll be mine.
TV show Lost, the plane crashes on a remote island on September 22nd.
When did you come here? How long ago? 60, 65 days.
What was the date?
September 22nd. It was September 22nd.
Movie Castaway, starring Tom Hanks. The driver's license of the dead pilot says 9/23. You have a Taco Bell commercial escaping a concentration camp on 9/23. Guinness beer commercial. If you keep an open mind, you'll discover dark secrets. And the stopwatch stops on 9/23. Black Eyed Peas video. The calendar of the month. It goes all the way up to September 22nd, and then it just stops. So there's it's all X'd out on the 23rd moving forward. Asteroid City. There was this asteroid that is going to hit on September 23rd.
Each year we celebrate Asteroid Day, commemorating September 23rd, 3007 BC, when the Arid Plains meteorite made Earth impact.
The video game Fallout 4. They mentioned 9/23.
S923, recall code Cirrus.
Don't Worry, Darling. That psychological thriller about a fake world, whatever, but it premiered on 9/23. And in the movie Split, 9/23.
But this could be 9/23 of any year.
That's right.
So maybe it'll be 2030.
Well, some people thought it was meaning since it didn't happen last year. It was so September 2023, which is this year.
But that just means this month, and it could be any day this month.
That's right. So it's going to be this month, or it could be 9/23 today. But like on these videos, apparently they said the day, like God told Evan on September 22nd, the flood's coming.
Well, that sucks because I have some packages coming in on the 23rd. So I hope it's still here. I mean,
one of the weird ones, because everybody looks at Simpsons. So the question was, did Simpsons ever predict this? So Season 9, episode 24, it's the whole world coming to an end. The whole show is about Homer creating these bunkers and everything, preparing for the end of the world. On season 9, episode 24.
What's WROL? It means without the rule of law, anarchy, the end of civilization. Coming soon to an America near you.
America can't collapse. We're as powerful as ancient Rome.
There is a trend on TikTok where men are asked how often they think about the Roman Empire, and it sure seems like the answer is all the time.
Homer, meet the Springfield Preppers. What would you do in a case of an EMP?
I like that. It's not like just fully just revealing everything. It's makes you kind of use your imagination a little bit. I like that.
Well, it's just funny because it's like they have to choose what days they put these on.
Right,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, so it was premeditated.
Yeah, of course. I like that.
Anyways, there's something with that, and I don't know if that's just, well, I don't know. You know how the government works with Project Mockingbird. Everything is innuendo for acclamation. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting. It's coming around. Today is Thursday. It was 9/14. So next week, it's either the end of the world or the end of something. Some people, there's a lot of people that believe that's like that during the Mayans and stuff, it was that end of consciousness concept that was going around.
Well, what if it's something worse than the world ending? What if there's another insurrection at the White House? And I know I probably shouldn't say that on television, but it could happen. And if another insurrection happens in the White House, I don't know what we're going to do. Like, people are breaking windows and people are yelling.
There was those people that broke into, I think, McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, his office.
Yeah, the recent one.
Yeah, and they were demanding him to pass the bill to help more funding for AIDS. And they just broke in and went in. So there was another small insurrection, but I guess because they were Biden supporters, they didn't really get much persecution.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Fox News for reporting that. I remember seeing that. Man, we can't take too many of those and survive. Like, I felt it, not just here, but also here. And I know everybody in China felt it. I know everybody in Russia felt it. I think even the people in Indonesia felt it. And Blackburn.
And BlackRock.
Everybody felt it.
Well, that's good.
And I hate to even, postulate such things, but yeah, it could be worse. There are things that are worse out there than ending the world.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, everywhere.
Anyways.
Autobots.
Anyways, on to the thing that I was going to talk about, which I am now. iARPA, which is under the office directed by the intelligence agency, which is the office that controls all intelligence. So it controls the CIA, controls everything. The intelligence community. iARPA is basically the arm of the intelligence community that develops all these, even on their website, it develops high-risk, high-reward tech. So apparently they've been working on this for over a year, but now it's finally starting to be pushed out. And they're going to first test it, of course, they say, on the military. But it's called Smarty Pants, Smart ePANTs. So it sounds like Smarty Pants.
Oh, wow, that's smart.
Yeah. But ePANTs stands for
electric pants,
electrically powered and network textile systems.
Whoa. How'd they do that?
And so if you guys don't know what textiles is, it's basically fabric.
They probably own that domain name.
Maybe. But in the name, it clearly says it's electrical and it's networked.
And the S stands for sterilizing.
That stands for systems.
Oh.
But if you guys want to look it up, this technology, it's called AST. It's an active smart textile. So there's two types of textiles. Remember, textile is fabric. There's passive smart textiles, and then there's active. So a passive textile would be something like a umbrella. It's a waterproof thing. So you put it there, it doesn't change, it's not smart, but it actually prevents you from getting wet. So it's a smart clothing. Or if you wear a water suit, it helps you, it prevents water from coming inside. So these are smart things.
Or if you're trying not to have kids, it'll help sterilize you.
But they're clothings, but they don't change with the environment. They are what they are, like an umbrella. It's a waterproof thing, or waterproof clothing, or something like that. But then there's active smart textiles. So
active wear.
It changes. Like these, and I'll get more into it, but these clothings, they have created something called energy harvesting and flexible or scrungy batteries. And they have figured out how to make a polymer that is 100% conductive. So they're actually pieces of conductive material like electric wire. And they have figured out how to make flexible batteries that are scrungible. So basically think of like a spring. You know, when you pull it straight, it's, it's one condition, but then it has the ability to flex.
Mm-hmm.
But think about a wire that can do that consistently, because when you pull out a string, it stays in that position. But they figured out how to make a scrunchable conductive fabric. So they have batteries that are woven into clothes. They have capacitors, transistors all woven into clothing. And they say you cannot even tell that it's in there. It feels like a piece of clothing that you normally would wear. Let's say like a polymer-based clothing, like, something like a silk shirt, like a button-up shirt or something. It's a little tough, but, it's a piece of clothing. But it's a little tough. It's not like a cotton shirt. That could be totally built in a way where it's all electrical. And so they have energy harvesters. So if they developed a technology where they can absorb your heat and convert that into electricity and store it in one of these capacitors within the fabric. This clothing is going to be put out into the public. Now think about when you go buy some new fashionable clothing, let's say they market with Nike or whatever, and those jackets, those puffy jackets are big. And if inside that downing material that keeps it warm, why don't all that downing material just be smart material? And all could just be storing all this electricity. It could be having energy harvesting technology. And it's all connected to the network. And if this LoRa, I was thinking, how would this work? Remember, I was talking a couple months ago about Amazon's Sidewalk network, how they steal your internet. And then everybody who has an Alexa device, it takes your internet and then distributes a lower frequency, and then it shares that with every Amazon device. So then the whole entire United States has this Amazon network and it's free. But they're taking your free internet. And so I was thinking, how would the government connect to the network and they can't connect to your network? They can just connect to Amazon's LoRa network, which is everywhere, and they can read your smart clothing. So they're going to be able to, and they say, what does it say here? Because this is straight off of iARPA's website. They say these sensors can record audio for up to 60 minutes. They can do indoor geolocational systems, providing GPS location readings for up to 10 minutes every single hour for the next 8 hours. They can store data and unload data, and they have 8 hours of continuous use without recharging. But the more you wear it, the more it stays on a continuous charge. And so these things, and they say these sensors have the power capacities that can convert electricity or disperse electricity or information through any rigid parts. So they were saying like your grommets, your zippers, your buttons, all these things are integrated with circuitry. So it's not just a fabric. If you're wearing a pants, the zipper itself, the metal in the zipper, the buttons on your shirts, everything is an electronical component. And so they say they're going to first test these smart clothings with the government, military people. But what happens when they make a deal with Nike or they make a deal with Abercrombie Fitch or whoever, you want your new
Jordans.
Yeah. And it's in there, bruh.
It'd be like flubber. I'd be able to actually dunk.
Yeah. And so it's interesting that now they want you to know we don't have to have your phones. You just have to wear clothes. Well, you're going to walk around naked? So you just have to have clothes.
Well, I planned on it.
So I just think it's interesting that all of this is real. So pretty soon, I believe you guys are going to see this out there on the market. And we already talked about it with the RAND Corporation. I talked about it before with you guys with IOBs, the Internet of Bodies. And one of the things the RAND Corporation was propagating was smart clothing, wearable sensors. And you already have wearable sensors with a smart watch. But nobody is thinking that their clothes is spying on them. But it is. It's coming. So that's the next level of things. You guys be looking out for that. We're probably going to talk more about that because they're going to continually talking about what research they have been gathering. And remember, this is iARPA. So this is specifically the security and surveillance intelligence community. So this is built by the people who are supposed to be gathering intelligence. This is the spy community. So the reason they build this is specifically to gather intelligence. They're not doing this because it's a new fabric for the military. It's for surveillance. That's what iARPA builds, surveillance technology. So that's their ambition. If you guys turn off your phone, that's cool. We still listening to you through your clothes. We're in your clothes, man. We're in your socks.
What if I poop my pants?
They don't care. Because they said it's washable, it's stretchable. Everything's fine.
Wow.
Yeah. And you wouldn't, they say you can't even tell. It's in your buttons and your zippers. It's in everything.
It's going to be in my wedgie.
Yeah. And that's good. That's fine. They don't care.
Wow.
And I'm sure, like, I'm thinking on how this works. I would think as each piece of clothes, let's say like your underwear and your pants are touching, they probably can network together. They probably can talk to each other because they're so close, kind of like wireless charging.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, guy, this stinks in here.
Yeah, well, it's clothing. I don't know if they're talking like that. But it is interesting.
What kind of receptors these things have?
Yeah, think about layers. Like as they have more pieces of clothing are touching, maybe it amplifies the energy, and the energy harvesting gets amplified. And they have sensors that talk to each other and transmit. And as you're walking around connecting to the lower Amazon network, they're transmitting this information back to the government. If they wanted to convert this into CBDCs, like digital currency, you're like, well, I'm not going to have a phone. You don't need a phone, because if your clothing is basically your wallet, you really could just walk in a store and walk out because your clothing is the wallet. And think about if the World Economic Forum gets on this bandwagon, or maybe they are the one propagating this, who knows? This is so easy to control people's smart cities because everybody's wearing clothes. And imagine if they start making people wear like uniforms.
What about a nudist smart city?
Well, yeah, that's the real way. I don't know. Like if you take I don't want to say it because these are one of those banned things, but one of those injectable
candies.
Yeah.
Arm candy.
And they put those xenobots in there. Then they could probably track you even through your blood because the xenobots are in you.
And what's the point in clothes at all? It's like you did all this experiments, all this stuff for clothes, and you don't even need it. You have the
xenobots, they're so small. They probably only can do like RFID transmission, very light transmission, but the clothing is so big because there you have so much clothes that you could probably store so much data and recordings and everything. These xenobots are tiny, tiny, tiny.
I have a lot of data to put in there too.
Well, regardless if that's the case or not.
Man, I don't know how big the storage is, but man.
Well, anyways, I just want you guys to think about that. I might do a hot take this week talking more about it because it is really interesting. It's not new because they have been talking about this for over a year and a half, but they never really finalized it. So it was all just conspiracy. But as you guys can see here, I took straight from iARPA's website. They're not even just talking about it. They have this big diagram. They're actually promoting it, like they're pushing it. Like, look at what we've done, guys. Like they've brought a new technology and they want you all to accept it. So it is interesting. It's coming down the pipeline. So you guys look into it. If you want to look specifically, there's multiple companies that produce this. It's called AST, Active Smart Textiles. And that is a smart fabric that can transmit, store energy, store data, and connect to the network. So I honestly do believe Amazon is connected with the CIA in some way. And I do believe that it's very easy for the government to use these lower networks. And I believe that's probably who helped create the lower network is probably the government. And then they found a way to propagate because the government needs easy infinitive access on a small level, like down in the community level, not up here with these large satellites, but down here, like where you're walking. And that can be very difficult. But if every home has an Alexa and they're spitting out this frequency at every home, that's easy and it's free. They didn't even have to pay for anything. And then if their smart clothing can connect to that, game over. Game over. Yeah. And then if your bank account's connected to your clothes, game over.
Game's just started.
Technical capabilities most relevant to the Smarty Pants program is our E-textile toolkit. So a few of the applications that we can talk about in this venue, I'm going to focus on the DoD kind of sector. So we've done work with a lot of the wearable dismounted warrior systems, Net Warrior, IVAS, etc. Done a lot of work with replacing all the conventional cables with E-textile analogs, assisted in taking these out in the field and doing user evaluation, so collecting user feedback and also collecting real-time electrical performance data. And so these networks network can be made to perform exactly like a conventional cable from an electrical standpoint, both DC loss, EMI characteristics, etc. And obviously the soldiers prefer it because it's lighter weight, less snag hazard. You just don't even know it's there. It's not getting into your battle space. Done some work with some other companies on seat-to-soldier power charging systems. I can't get into that too much, but we've made a stretchable analog of our E-textile, so good for base layer garments or certain sensing applications. We're talking significant stretch here, hundreds, 200%. And a fair amount with RF applications, antennas, antenna feed lines, etc. Beyond making the networks and the connectorization technologies, we've done a lot of work with integrating other parties' technologies. This could be electrochromic fabrics, films, thin film sensors, photovoltaic fibers and films, etc. Regular electronic assets, you have a sensor package you want to integrate. We do a lot of work with that. And also developing the interfaces themselves. So we have a lot of different options we've developed over the years. You can make interfaces with conventional wires or flex circuits or conductive hook and loop or, contact-based methods as well. So there's a lot of different things that are very compatible with this kit. And then finally, we've developed a lot of processes for characterizing all the subcomponent materials that might go into their dielectric fabrics, shielding fabrics, etc., as well as complete systems.
So our research in the center is really going after the goal of making self-powered wearable systems. And to achieve this goal, we need to do a few things. We need to make sure that the power consumption of all of the electronics and the sensors are as low as possible. And we also need to make sure that the power that we generate from autonomous sources, such as the human body, are high enough to power all those electronics. Our research in the center is divided into these 5 areas: energy harvesting and storage, low power sensing, low power electronics, e-textiles, and system integration. We have some of the world record in terms of harvesting energy in body heat using flexible, stretchable materials involving liquid metals that are embedded in polymers. We also have some of these other energy harvesting technologies that may not be so suitable for this BAA, but certainly body heat harvesting is. We also have a capability of doing RF harvesting in a completely fabric-oriented manner. In this particular example, everything, the whole circuit except for one small component is actually embroidered. And this particular fabric is able to harvest RF power, monitor a signal, a sensor signal, in this case a biochemical signal, and send the data back using the same pathway that was used for the power harvesting. We also have liquid metals that can be used as soft tensile-based energy harvesters, for example, on elbows or on fingers or on knees. And this allows us to get power as well in a soft, flexible manner. This particular lab is from Wei Gao, and she has been able to create batteries and supercapacitors that are shaped as fibers and yarns and can be applied into different, can be weaved into different garments.
So system integration is what I would refer to when I talk about that network of devices. System integration with respect to data flow and with respect to power. So you have to store power, you have to get it where it needs to go, and this is the kind of system that has power consumption needs that vary dramatically. When you have your IMU on or whatever your approach is to indoor locationing, it's consuming lots of power and you need to regulate it in a clean way. But then when you have a 3-month calendar life in phase 3, you've got to be very efficiently, being smart about not doing anything. And so that's a huge dynamic range. We've been able to show a number of really compelling components and applications, including energy harvesting and power delivery and voltage regulation across a whole bunch of different components, and including some really compelling sensing solutions like you can see in the bottom left, ultra low power devices that can be always on and listening at just hundreds of nanowatts, but then wake up and record audio, or GPS devices that can be operating at just a few milliwatts as examples.
Our company commercializes fibers that contain different materials from semiconductors, polymers, metals, to create a multitude of device functionalities from computing, microphones, and energy storage. We have actually published a few papers on battery and supercapacitors fibers last year. So first, I'll be talking about our fiber microphone work, which was reported in Nature just a few weeks ago. So in this work, inspired by the human ear, which contains high modulus fibers in the eardrum and the cochlea, we created a fabric with a single fiber transducer, which is sensitive enough to collect and convert low pressure sound waves into electrical signals. Our fiber manufacturing process is also highly scalable, where we start off with only a 18 cm long preform and end up with a 72 meters long fiber microphone. And the fiber can be made to be as small as 0.5 millimeters or even smaller than that. The fiber microphone is also highly flexible and soft and can be used with traditional weaving machines to weave these fibers into fabrics. And we have also put it through the washing machine, and it can survive the rigorous washing cycles.
On to other things. What else is on your tab?
I have a few fact-checking things.
Bill and Melinda Gates died in 2013, according to Ancestry.com.
Yeah. So my heart goes out to their family. There's been many sightings of them and pictures and all that stuff. So I guess some people are postulating that maybe the Bill Gates and Melinda Gates that you see right now are clones or AI robots or something. So
what are they saying? They died in an airplane accident or something?
I don't know. It just says that they died on Ancestry.com. That's the claim. But according to Reuters, they found no such claim on Ancestry.com. So maybe it was updated by their family recently. Reuters actually says that they don't know. It says it was unable to independently verify the link, but they're assuming it was a hoax. So we don't know. Maybe Bill Gates, got drunk at a party or whatever, and he got married to this Melinda on 2013. And that's when he's recording, that was the day I died.
Well, it is 33, so maybe that's saying he's a 33rd Mason, because 20 plus 13 is 33.
That's true. That is true. Well, the Ancestry spokesperson said that the website allows the public to build family trees for themselves and for notable people from history to the present. While they encourage users to validate the facts of their own family tree, with more than 30 billion records available on the Ancestry website, people are given the autonomy to craft their trees in any way they choose. So
yeah, but they can't just put fake information like Bill Gates died.
Well, no, only Bill Gates would have the access to this. Ancestry doesn't say it. Nobody else has access.
You would have to upload a death certificate.
Maybe.
What do you mean? Maybe you just can say, "Oh, I died," and let me upload it while I'm dead. I'm going to upload my death.
Maybe it was a glitch in the system.
Yeah, I would assume they need verification of death, like a death certificate.
Well, this is what's really interesting on Reuters. The very next sentence, it says, "More importantly, there is an abundance of evidence showing that Bill and Melinda Gates are still alive." It's like, okay, why would you even have to say something like that? You should have just left it right there. Let it say this is just a big hiccup on Ancestry.com, or we don't know because we can't prove the claim or not.
Well, my thought is, why is anybody even entertained this to begin with? Just entertaining it.
This is Reuters, and now they're going to give you all this evidence that Bill and Melinda are still alive. So they're going to say, look, in September 2013, 2 months after their alleged death, there's photographs of them accepting an award in New York, meeting the ex-secretary general, and then, in 2016, there's a ceremony at the White House and all this, 2015. So they're giving all this evidence. And it's like, why do you feel like you have to do this?
Because all we're left with, if we don't believe that, is that they're clones. Because there is somebody today walking around.
Yeah, in his skin.
That's Bill and Melinda Gates. So the only two options, you either have to believe the falsifiable evidence, which you can test and prove there was a person here, which they have these dates and events and cameras and videos and all that stuff. So that's falsifiable proof, which it proves that there's somebody there. Or you have to say that they're a clone. Because there's somebody walking around today.
Well, apparently just this little clip right here, and it's not even a video, it's just a clip. And I saw it, I was like, that's interesting. So I looked it up, and that's when I found Reuters. But there's 146,000 people who saw this. And there's probably, I've been hearing, I guess when I looked this up, apparently there's a lot of people making this claim. So it's not just this one little clip.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Is there any other fact checkers, or that was it?
Oh, yeah, I have a few other interesting fact checking things.
What else you got?
Well, everybody is going in a rave right now about this little tiny mummified alien, I guess, that was found. In fact, so much so that ABC.net News talked about it. From this point on, it was 16 hours ago that they just posted about this. So here's what they're talking about.
Are these proof of extraterrestrial life? The alleged remains of non-human beings were displayed in Mexico during its first congressional hearing on UFOs. These beings were reportedly found in Peru in 2017 and are said to be at least 700 years old. This is the first time it is presented in such a form, and I think there is a clear demonstration that we are dealing with non-human specimens that are not related to any other species in our world, and that any scientific institution can investigate it. The hearings are being conducted to decide on an aerial space protection law. If passed, it would reportedly make Mexico the first country in the world to acknowledge aliens on this planet. It's a moment some space enthusiasts have been waiting for.
Recognizing the need for action and answers, I founded Americans for Safe Aerospace. We believe that UAP represent an urgent priority for both aerospace safety and scientific inquiry.
And while these particular specimens may not be especially convincing, it could be the beginning of worldwide acceptance of life beyond Earth.
Oh, this is that Mexico thing. Mexico propagated this, and they're saying they're trying to reveal it, saying America and the rest of the world have been suppressing these biologics.
Yeah.
What do you think about Truth Seeker?
Well, I guess I'll just read from the ABC News. I mean, I don't know what to think. I guess they're saying that these corpses are apparently 800 to 1,700-year-old non-human beings. But it says, but experts and much of the public are not convinced that these are aliens. In fact, Jonty Horner, an astrobiologist at University of Southern Queensland, said, I tend to think if it looks too good to be true, it almost certainly is. Then she says, assuming Jonty is a girl, she says, I also tend to think if they look too human to be true, they almost certainly are not alien.
Honestly, to me, I thought it was like a model, kind of like, how they show you dinosaur bones, but the dinosaur bones are not real bones because they say that it's too fragile. So they have to make a fiberglass replication of the bone, and that's what you're actually seeing at the museum. And when I first saw that, it's like, oh, well, that doesn't look real. They probably had to make a replication of it because you can't propagate 2,000-year-old little mummified alien bones. Not like that, because I think they were like literally holding it.
So this is what Jose de Jesus says. I can affirm that these bodies have no relation to human beings, but that doesn't mean they're aliens either. Now, Jose de Jesus is the director of the Scientific Institute for Health of the Mexican Navy during the hearing.
Well, sure, yeah, maybe there's some kind of animal, and we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I'm saying is maybe it's real, maybe it's not, but yeah, I don't think that's the actual fossil or bones. I would assume, if you believe in dinosaurs, then most of you should know that what you're seeing as those bones are not real bones.
Are you saying this is a dinosaur biologic?
No, what I'm saying is it clearly doesn't look real, and maybe it's supposed to just be a replication because they do the same thing with dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, I was thinking maybe this is just a deformed human or something. To me, it looks like a small child. They're saying it's not alien and it's not human, so it's probably a dog.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But you guys tell us what you think in the comments. Do you think that this is real, or do you think this is all a hoax? But this is a good segue. Apparently today, this Thursday, 9/14, NASA was supposed to publicate their report on aliens and extraterrestrial activity and UFOs. And they did a live stream today, and they published a 36-page report on what they believe in the actuality and the evidences of aliens, extraterrestrial life forms, and UAPs. And they come out and state that there is no evidence that they have that proves any of the sort that there is extraterrestrial life forms or biologics on Earth. But there are some phenomenons that are hard to explain. NASA.
Never a straight answer.
So that happened today. So if you guys are watching that, and there's so many people that was propagating all over TikTok, oh, they're gonna finally admit aliens are real, because there was a buildup. All these months, all the governments were saying, oh, aliens are real. We got Congress, aliens are real. NASA comes out, no, aliens are not real. They're not real, guys. 36 pages, not real. So there's no answer.
UFO enthusiasts may be a bit disappointed by NASA's announcement this Thursday, where they said their UAP study team has found no extraterrestrial origins of UFO sightings. This is the first report of its kind.
NASA Administrator Bill Nelson said they are appointing a director of UAP research to further study the issue.
The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin, but we don't know what these UAP are.
But there's also another report that comes out to explain Taco Bell's mystery meat composition. So they figured out that 88% of the meat is U.S. inspected. I don't know what that description means, but U.S. certified inspected beef. 12% is artificial flavoring, and the other 12% is stuff like cellulose, which is basically trees, and other secret ingredients.
Aren't trees good for us?
Who knows? But my question to you is, who do you think will give us the answers first? NASA or Taco Bell?
NASA.
You have more faith in NASA.
Well, I have more faith in Elon. NASA is probably tired of getting kicked around by one man, so
we'll never know what's inside Taco Bell's mystery meat.
Maybe they'll, all come out and reveal everything to us. Who knows? At the same time, it might be a tie.
Well, the next question is regarding the government and what's going on in the United States. So the government has 10 business days to pass 12 bills for the financial budget of the United States. And if they don't pass this, all federal programs loses funding. Nobody's getting paid. Both chambers, the House of Representatives and the Senate, have to pass all 12 bills or the government goes into a shutdown. But also this week, starting today, so it's already occurred at the recording of this video, UAW, United Auto Workers, 145,000 of them are all going to go on strike. And this is going to affect all the plants, Ford, GMC, so Cadillac, all that. All these major companies, Jeep, Dodge, they have $870 million in their fund, the United Auto Workers. They can go on strike for 3 months before that fund ends, so they can pay for these workers to go on strike for 3 months. Every week, it's going to cost these automakers $1 billion for every week that these workers go on strike if all 145,000 go on strike. So that's 12 weeks. So that'd be $12 billion in losses. And at this point, there has been no resolution, so now the UAW is going to go on strike. Who do you think is going to pay first? Do you think the government is going to pass these bills and pay, or do you think the auto manufacturers are going to pay these strikers?
I don't think neither. I mean, this isn't the first time the government has had these little time restraints. I think they kind of like that, like they're clutch players. So they wait till the last minute to do what they have to do. Like they purposely procrastinate so they can feel the pressure.
So if you were to get $10 million today, are the answers to the questions of the world over a lifetime, which one would you take?
What kind of all questions?
You either get the $10 million, but you get no more answers to the world. But you can buy anything you want, but you can't buy knowledge. You'll be blocked from knowledge.
Oh, yeah. If you're completely blocked from knowledge, then yeah, I don't know.
But you can buy anything. You can live the life you want.
Yeah, I think I'll pass. If they put some kind of blocker in my brain where I
like
cannot learn
Neuralink
anything else, yeah, then I'll pass.
Do you like Coke or Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper.
Do you like nachos or fries?
Fries.
You like fried chicken or fried fish?
Fish.
Hamburgers or pizza?
Hamburgers.
If there were aliens out there today, do you think they're real biological life forms or demons?
I'd probably say they are real biological life forms if they exist. I'm not convinced that they do, but
sure, those are going to be hard questions for all of us. Let us know in the comments which one would you prefer. Let us know what you think about aliens. Because I've seen many comments, especially in our videos. A lot of people think they're just demons. But there are some people who believe they're real biological life forms.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we are to believe that these things are driving physical cars that are flying, physical spaceships that are flying, and they have physical bodies that you could actually dissect, and they actually physically die at a crash site. I don't know how people conclude that they're demons, because, I mean, as far as the term demon, where it comes from, the definition is it's supposed to be spiritual.
For some people, they just believe demons are shapeshifters. They're not something that react to our reality, so they'll show up as an alien or this or that. But just like a lot of people, they can't prove a lot of things. So they'll say, well, you never can prove that there was a real spacecraft on here. You never can prove there was a real alien here. Nobody can prove any of it, so they'll just say, well, they were all demons. I've heard a lot of people say that.
I don't mind playing with different models, but there are 3 different models, and that is you either believe it's Project Bluebeam, so they don't exist. It's all just propaganda from the government. Or you believe that there are physical aliens that have come from a different world to our world. Or you can believe that they're spiritual entities, not physical at all. You can't dissect them. They're not flying spaceships or anything. So that trashes all the video evidence you have of them being demons or whatever. So if they're demons, that's a whole nother model. If they're actual extraterrestrial physical bodies, that's a whole nother model. And if it's Project Bluebeam, that's a whole nother model. So you have to pick one, though. You can't just throw them all together. They all contradict each other.
Well, I think most people realize that. But most of the comments in our videos is they believe they're demons.
Well, I'm more convinced that it's Project Bluebeam. So
you're more just convinced that they're not even real at all. They're just an illusion of a holographical image.
Yeah. Put on by the government. The government has all kinds of technology. It won't even have to be a holographic. The government could be literally flying this anti-grav tech that we've had for many years, but they're not going to give it to us because they want us to drive these gas cars and stuff. So basically, it's the government showing off their fancy toys. And we're going to keep driving this 19th century technology, gas-powered steam engines, because that's the best technology that we know of. And we haven't advanced. Even in the age of smartphones and laptops, we just can't get past steam engines, I'm not convinced.
But you would think somebody like Elon, who's trying to save a lot of money or get somewhere faster or do anything, could make rockets that could do a lot more efficient propulsion than just using these old rocket engines.
The same Elon who sent a rocket up and it coincidentally blew up just like all these other rockets. So he didn't do anything for anybody.
No, my point is...
He's not even... It doesn't, to my knowledge, it doesn't seem like he's trying to fix that, right that wrong.
I don't care
either.
about any of that. I'm not making that point. I'm saying he built... the only rocket that exists that can land itself.
And we'll never know because
there's many people who've seen it in real life, like actual normal people.
I want to see it land on the moon.
I'm talking about rockets that shoot up and then they come back and automatically land on Earth. He's the only person that's ever invented anything like that, like AI landable rockets.
That's like me trying to sell somebody a car. It's like, don't worry, this car will get you from New York to Florida. And they're like, okay, let me show you. And then it breaks down halfway. It's like, well, you got to believe me, though. It'll make it to Florida.
That's not my point. Is you would think that if you want to put off a better illusion or you want to put off a better propaganda, you would do something that's more convincing. And that would be more convincing than anybody. If people could see like really advanced tech, then they would start to be convinced, oh, maybe this guy can actually do something. But they're still using that old rocket engine technology. And so I just think it's interesting that they're not trying to advance the illusion. And actually, after I saw India, it actually started making me think, well, they're actually now digressing in the illusion.
Digress Tyson. I'm shocked that we haven't gone backwards. Like, it seems like they're trying to push us backwards into steam-powered engines because they're not as toxic for the environment. So they're going to, and then once they'll probably push us back into using horses and,
I hope not.
Carriages and stuff.
If people are actually leaving the Amish community, I hope we're not all.
Well, we're not, it won't mean you're Amish. It just means that you're going to be riding a horse or a carriage to get to work.
If you go too far back, we're going to be having those hand-powered drills.
See, we laugh now because they're not going to do it all in our lifetime. They're going to slowly but progressively keep pushing this idea. We need to go back to steam power, and then once we get there, after maybe 100 years,
we need to
go back to horses.
There's no way. They want to build smart cities. They want to build digital currency. They want to control us. They don't want us to go back to militias and guns.
No, they do want to control us, and that's how they're doing it. Like, they're keeping all the technology
they're going to bring us back
elites.
to cannons and guns.
Yeah, just us, the peons of the world. And then eventually they'll probably start restricting medical stuff for us peons. That way, that'll be the way of us dying off, and all the elites will get to live because they'll have all this luxury, fancy stuff like they have right now. Like, it's already happening right now. We know the elites have anti-gravity crafts. Like, they have it. They're not
I don't know
we
any
can't
of that,
have
but
it.
you're pretty sure of it.
Yeah, I am very confident.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
anything
we
like
don't
that.
have access to that. We're still working on steamboats and stuff. But they have all this other technology. Now, whether they backward engineered it from an alien or not, I don't know, and I don't care. Whether they did or not, why don't they share that technology with the rest of us?
Well, because most people believe they don't have it, but I know
Yeah, I
you
know.
believe they have it.
Yeah, I don't think it's even a thing.
That's cool.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm confident it's either the government flying around in their spaceships, probably Elon or Bill Gates actually flying, just laughing at us down
He
here because we're
can't
still
because he's a
using.
clone.
Maybe it's Jessica Alba. I don't care. She's
Who's
flying around
that?
laughing at us.
I mean, it was just talking about some random person.
She's some random female actress. I just
Okay,
came to my mind.
that's cool.
Actually, I don't even know if she's alive anymore. But who cares?
She's
She's probably
picking
flying
some
around.
random person on the earth.
She's looking down at us like some goddess, laughing at us. Like, look at them still working on steam engines, and I'm over here flying around.
So your
on-
theory could be is that the elites are actually the real aliens.
Yeah, and they're just mocking us and laughing.
So they're the aliens, and we are still trying to figure out who the aliens are. But the whole time, the elites are the actual aliens, and they're just watching us like a zoo.
Yeah, like Justin Bieber is probably up there, and they're probably.
But
have all
there's
been up
people who
there.
believe that. It's those what they call them, the lizard people. They believe the elites are these lizard people,
Yeah,
alien
I don't-
people.
I don't know if they're lizards, but I will say that they're just wealthy people who have access to stuff that we don't.
Well, it just sounds like to fit the analogy because the average person thinks there's something out there, and I feel like I'm being watched and controlled, but I don't know what it is. And everybody thinks, well, the elites have access to all this stuff. So then the illusion is, well, maybe we're just in a zoo controlled by these elites, and the elites are really the ones watching us. Well, that would postulate that the elites are really the aliens watching us.
Yeah, I mean, I can test that theory. I mean, because every theory needs to be tested. So next time I see Jessica Alba, next time I see Justin Bieber in public, I'll throw my poop at him.
Well, you talked about
like
it
an
before.
animal.
You were saying that you think that Oprah Winfrey is a lizard because the video.
I didn't say I think she was. I said it's interesting that her eyes look like lizards.
Yeah, well, a lot of people believe
Eyes.
that kind of thing because
yeah,
of
I
videos
get that.
like that.
I'm not discounting it either. It's a working model.
They have that of Justin Bieber too.
It's a working model, but it comes at a cost. And I'm picky at which models I buy. So now again, Project Bluebeam could be equally valid. That's my top thing. I believe it's all Project Bluebeam, all the aliens and UFOs and all that. But my second theory is that maybe it's not a projection. Maybe it's actually the elites flying around out there. The governments are actually flying around out there. But yeah, the third theory the third more plausible theory would be that it's actually extraterrestrial
It's
bodies coming from
these Mexico state skeletons.
I think Mexico, the whole reason they did this whole display of that little alien was to show us what a real alien is. It's like, look, guys, these are the aliens, not us.
On to other things. What do you have on your tab?
Well, everybody is complaining about exploding watermelons. I don't know if you've seen that, but here is the video.
Walmart watermelons exploding everywhere.
Hi, so I came downstairs and all of the guts of my watermelon was all over my table, as you can see here. So I guess overnight my watermelon exploded, combusted, and I'm not sure why. So here it is again. The inside looks crazy. It really looks like it is a man-made watermelon. It doesn't look like a natural, intricately grown watermelon.
Hank Green. It smells so bad.
The second watermelon from Kroger that's been doing this. I got you a pot. From Kroger.
I cannot make this up. I heard a whistling sound in the pantry, and then my watermelon exploded like A.
There's hundreds of these videos. You go on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram and type in exploding watermelons. There's hundreds of these videos. People actually at Walmart looking at these watermelons.
Why aren't they showing the inside of these watermelons?
They do. She's just filming like what happened. Like it looks nasty, just looks like straight water. They're all saying it's the seedless watermelons that are doing this.
Well, I've had multiple seedless watermelons. I've never had anything like this.
That one has pus.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, and they're actually, look at that. Look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It's squirting. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, wow. It keeps going. Look at that. It's leaking. Wow, that one's actually on the toilet, it sounds like. Sounds like it's on the toilet.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. Everybody's saying it's the seeds. However,
the seeds are seedless.
Seedless. My apologies. But according to today.com, Keith Schneider, PhD, professor in the Food Science and Human Nutrition Department at University of Florida, tells today.com that this isn't the first time he's heard foaming exploding watermelons. Of course, I remember my first time. Says this is probably due to the heat. The fruit, if slightly damaged, can begin fermenting. If enough fermentation occurs, which produces gas, enough internal pressure may build up for the watermelon to crack or pop, Schneider says.
Which that makes sense. The weird part is, why is the skin looking so elastic?
Heat. And the fermentation
causes it to turn into like plastic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Science speaks for
everything.
Everything.
Fermentation makes sense. But yeah, there would have to be some crack or some way for the for it to start fermenting on the inside. But yeah, if you have enough time, fermenting makes sense. But that's some pretty big explosions.
Yeah, before it even, that's what a lot of people are saying. So,
I mean, that is like, how long are they sitting there? I mean, it has to sit there for a while to start fermenting. Unless they're old already before they get to the store.
So many Facebook users commented on Durbin's post to say that they had also experienced an exploding watermelon in recent weeks. One person on Facebook wrote, "My melon was on the counter and it must have already been bad when I got it. And the next day I came down and an awful smell and rotten melon everywhere. It was disgusting. And anytime I get something, I cut it up right away now."
Yeah, see, that makes sense. It was already bad.
But it was on the counter, so it wasn't in the heat. So, I mean, yeah, I guess you can put it in the heat for a few days or whatever, and then it gets bad. But then if you bring it inside and it's inside for a few days, it's cooling off. So it naturally, should...
But the fermentation of the process doesn't stop once it starts. Once it starts, it ain't stopping.
Well, why haven't we heard about this before? Why is this a new thing? Because they're actually calling this a new, not pandemic, but they're calling it a new...
You said the guy who was the scientist saying this ain't the first time. He's heard about this.
Yeah, that's one guy. If you look this up on YouTube, on Google, there's many websites.
One theory that I could come up with is before these grocery stores get it, they could be sitting around in the factories for a long time. And so, yeah, maybe the grocery stores, it's fresh, they just got it. But they've been picked sitting in a warehouse for maybe 6-7 weeks.
So why aren't all the watermelons doing this?
Well, so what I'm saying is, are they saying that it's just certain picked watermelons?
Yeah, like there's a lot of videos, again, if you go on YouTube or TikTok.
I don't want to believe the stupid propaganda where I know there's people out there selling heirloom seeds. That's all they do is they sell seeds. And so what they try to do is propagate all this conspiracy that seedless anything is
GMO.
Bad for you. And so they propagate these videos to make people say, oh, I need to get seeded stuff.
This is all over the place. It's too much for one person.
So then it's not just a seedless thing. This should happen to all watermelons.
No, it is. Well, that's what people are theorizing. It's a seedless thing. That's another thing, too, I guess. People, nobody has any answers for that. Why is only seedless watermelons expanding, with all the sugar
I don't know if
stuff.
anybody can prove that or not. Like, we would need quantified proof that these are all seedless.
Yeah. It's just weird. People going in Walmart and filming that there's a lot of watermelons that are fine, but then there's one or two that are literally just looks like water came out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I do think it's interesting. So you guys tell us in the comments, what do you think? Have you had experiences with exploding watermelons? Are yours seedless, or do you have seeds? I know everybody's a snake oil salesman, and they're selling a product and they want to demonize the opposition so they can sell more products. I know that happens everywhere. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you believe in. Everybody does that. So when I hear something like, oh, these are only seedless, I know that an only claim is propagated by a sales pitch, because fruits are fruits and they all can ferment, and seeds ain't got nothing to do with fermentation or not. So when I start hearing stuff like it's only the seedless, instantly my brain thinks, who's selling the oil? Who's selling the snake juice? Because all fruits ferment.
Well, except for the other half of the fruits that aren't fermenting.
No, what I'm just saying,
it's like
all fruits can.
There's a lot of websites on Google that were saying, they had all the scientists and everything saying it's because of global warming and the earth is getting hotter.
There's another snake oil being sold.
It's
that's all I'm saying. Whenever I hear only stuff, I know somebody's selling something, because nobody's only anything. There is no only.
What about only chats?
Yeah, they're selling some oil too. Anyways, you guys tell us in the comments if you've had these experiences and what do you think it is. Do you think it's really? Because the other conspiracy is that it's GMO stuff. So therefore, okay, so you have to be against GMO. So this gives an opportunity to be against GMO, or you have to be against seedless plants, which is another antithesis against GMOs. So this is all just a propaganda to get people to buy heirloom seeds. Grow your own watermelons. Go to my website. Go to the link in the bio. Go to my website, and we sell all kinds of heirloom seed watermelons. You can grow your own. We have a deal this week. Buy 5 packs, get 1 free. Check the link in the bio. And I already know. It's snake oil.
I'd rather shop on 4 Patriots, get my wand.
Anyways, thank you for that, Mr. Colleague. But that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Another great episode here at Toilet Time TV. As always, think about clicking on that lower left-hand button. It says join. And think about becoming a Toilet Timer member today, helping us financially continue propagating these videos, telling you guys all the true information here. Also, check out the lives every Thursday afternoon, where we have an open dialogue. You can ask us any questions. In this video description, you can see the link to a Discord. Join the Discord, where we publicize all the articles and information about the things we discuss here on the show. And also, like, share, and comment on this video. It helps us tremendously. But anyways, thank you for tuning in, not tuning out. We'll see you guys next time here at Toilet Time TV.